Welcome to Connect with Stephanie, and I am your host, Stephanie N. Can. Who am I, you may ask? I am a business consultant, and my passion is supporting entrepreneurial growth. And this is the space where you're going to hear all about all of the things, all of the nuances that we don't talk about as entrepreneurs, and we don't share because everyone likes to sugarcoat, and this is not the sugarcoated side of entrepreneurship. You're going to get the real nitty gritty of what entrepreneurship means and the sacrifices that we have to give up and make in order to be successful. So over the last 20 years or so, I've seen businesses succeed and stumble. I don't believe in failure. We fail forward and not backwards. And I have been supporting entrepreneurial growth for the past 20 years or so, because I believe that everyone needs hero support. Every Batman needs a Robin. Let's not try to deny it. Every SpongeBob needs a Patrick. So what people post on social media is not really what you see. You see the glossy side of and the glamorous side of entrepreneurship. You see when we win. But what about when we are not winning? What about the unglamorous side of things? So that's what I'm going to share with you today and in every other episode. Feel free to listen to season 1. This is season 2. It's 2023, and it's the beginning of a new year. And actually, today is my birthday. Hence the reason I just came from the beach. Hey, when you're an entrepreneur, when you have your own business, you can make sacrifices. So I put things in place so that I could go to the beach today. So this is my beach hair. This is my beach cover up. I still have my little tan, and this is my beach hair. So enjoy. So this is what I'm doing today, and today is my birthday. And the gift that I want from you for my birthday today, guess what it is? I'd like you to subscribe to my podcast. It's available on every podcast platform that you can think of. Spotify, Google, you name it, we're there. I'm there. So my gift I would like from you is to subscribe to my podcast. So because it's January, it's the beginning of the year, I usually take this time to reflect on what I have done for the past year, which will be 2022, and what I'm planning to do into this year, which is 2023. We're already into Q1, quarter one, and I generally plan for the rest of the year what I'm going to do. I've started planning since last month, December, and I'm forever optimistic about what's going to happen. But I'm actually an odd blend of pessimism and optimism. Go figure. But today I'm extremely optimistic because it is my birthday after all. And I'm always hopeful for a brighter tomorrow. I'm a believer that weeping may endure for a night, but joy, yes, joy is going to come tomorrow. And all of the sacrifices that you're making for a better tomorrow will come to pass. It has to. We have to keep that goal in sight. So that's why I'm here today to talk about doing it scared. Doing it scared means that right now I'm changing the format of my podcast. I'm sure you've noticed that this is a video in addition to audio. And I'm letting you see me in all of my glory. All of my glory that you're going to see me for the rest of the year. I think I'm going to do this. Of course, if you have anything to say about this new format for the podcast, let me know. Drop me a line. I'm always welcome to feedback. As I say, feed forward, because that's the only way that we learn and we grow. And growth is a constant change. We need to grow. The only constant in life is change. So I wanted to change things, and I wanted to reach a wider audience. And I think a lot of people will feel more connected when they see me. So you can drop me a line and let me know how you feel about doing that. And I want to talk about doing things when we're scared. You want to go after what you want and your passion in life, but we don't always feel ready to do that. Going after what we want sometimes means facing our fears. And our fears can mean facing the fear of failure, facing the fear of uncertainty, facing a fear of letting everyone around you down, facing the fear of not being good enough. So when we say the fear of not being good enough, I mean that sometimes you think that you're not ready. But I'm going to tell you something as a mentor, as I mentor with YBTT Youth Business of Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm also a consultant in my own business. I love seeing when my mentees, my clients actually face their fears and just take that leap of faith. And I can tell you it's a leap of faith because I'm sitting here with you and I'm scared, but some people can't tell. Some people can't tell that I am scared. And I'm scared of just showing up. Sometimes we have that. Sometimes we feel not good enough. But what I'm going to tell you is that that fear that you have, it tends to fuel what I call the procrastination monkey. So you make a ton of excuses as to why this can't work, and you actually, after a while, start believing those excuses, and you say, nah, it's not going to work. And I've watched people actually talk themselves out of brilliant ideas and put a lot of obstacles in their own path as to why they will not succeed. And this product or service never comes to market because, and in addition to that, they feel that people don't want it. But the only way you're going to know if somebody really wants your product or service is if you benchmark and if you do the proper research, which I've gone through in season 1. And if you'd like to talk about that, please reach out to me and I will gladly talk to you. And we have to do the research in order to know what people want. Test the market constantly. Even in my own business, you see right now that the podcast is evolving. I've now introduced video. So that is a constant thing that we have to do when we're in business. We have to get over our fears. We have to face our fears and just do it, literally. Because I've even heard people tell me that when you're expanding a business, for example, sometimes you need to hire staff. So if it is your business is in food and beverage, you can't do everything for yourself. It's just impossible. And it's always best sometimes to outsource or bring in-house help. In-house help meaning that you're going to hire staff. But the fear that most people have is that this staff, they're going to steal your ideas, they're going to steal your recipes. But I will tell you something. If everybody cannot do what we're doing. As entrepreneurs, as business owners, not all of us have the tenacity, the grit, and the audacity to show up in spaces and push our way and make a seat at the table or literally even create your own table. Not everyone can do that. You're doing it, right? So that's why if everybody can't do this, that's why everybody's not going to do it. And that's why we are doing it. So we are facing our fears and making our business profitable, making our businesses sustainable. And I always believe, and I always tell people, there's nothing ventured, nothing gained. So I get over myself. I get out of my own way most of the time and I ask for help. I ask the right questions and I do what I need to do to make sure that business is successful. And, everyone is profitable around me, even my clients, especially my clients. And I always remind people, and I want you to remember that entrepreneurship is a marathon. We're in it for the long haul. This is not a sprint. We're not going to be overnight successes. There's no such thing as overnight success. What we see is the iceberg effect. We see the tip, which is what everyone sees, but we're not seeing the hard work, the roots of what it really took, all the sacrifices, sleepless nights, sacrificed relationships, whether it be friendship, love, whether it be, fear of missing out, because there are a lot of things I miss out on because my priority is always my business. My priority is always that. And that financially is what sometimes I miss out on things because sometimes I need to invest in equipment and not in the next fat ticket. So I'm going to give you some tips about how you can overcome your fears. So regardless of what your fears or your weaknesses are, just show up. I encourage you to show up. Show up and show out. Be authentic, be you, be yourself with, my lovely tan, and do what you need to do. You have to work on your weaknesses and face them and work on them. You're going to start to improve how you deal with them over time. I found that over time, for example, I get nervous every time I have to do an interview on television, on radio. I get nervous. I have butterflies in my stomach. But I've come up with my little tips. I am prepared. I do research on the topic. I even stand in front of the mirror sometimes and I speak to myself. Because I'm my own best critic, my own worst critic, my own best critic. So I know what I want to portray to the world, what is the message that I want to convey to the world. So you need to do that as well if that is your fear. If you want something different and better, you have to make changes in how you approach things. So that's why I said, we fail forward. We fail forward. We don't fail back, or we don't fail at all. We stumble. You have to learn from your mistakes. And if it is you find that one method is not working, take note of it. Speak with your team and decide what is the best way to approach this obstacle or problem, or how are you going to actually bring this to market. So I want you to face your fears. I want you to develop grit. You're going to develop grit as we get a million no's, we fall down a couple of times, we find ourselves, looking for funding, looking for different things to help make our business fine. I want you to develop grit. People are always going to tell you what you can and cannot do. Don't let them dictate your pace. Have that backbone in place to tell people no. There are no excuses, there are only results. And the only way you're going to get results is if you continue to do the things you fear. Sounds like a recipe for madness, but yes, if you continue to do the things you fear, you show up. What is the thing that you fear? You need to identify what your fear is. Sometimes our fear is talking to people. So how best can you get over that? Probably you need to practice in small ways. My fear used to be talking to people when I was a teenager. Yeah, I got over that pretty quickly. What I used to do when I used to travel from school to home, I traveled a lot. I took public transport. I would actually approach people on the street. I'd say, hi, how are you? And now I can strike up a conversation with anyone. And I always practice my elevator pitch. So I'm constantly selling my business, which can be annoying to my friends, but it is what it is. So if you're doing things and things go wrong, you can't dwell on the past. You can't let what happened in the past affect your future. Recognize that you made a mistake and learn from it and move on. Accept responsibility and strategize to make sure it doesn't happen again. This is something that we need to do. We know what's wrong. Inherently, we know what's wrong. And even if you don't know what's wrong, your team knows what's wrong and what's wrong with your process. Listen to them and only make sure that you don't do it again. And that can make you stronger. You're developing grit. Always make your decisions based on fact. I've mentioned benchmarking before. If you want to launch a new product, especially in a market it's already saturated with that particular product, go and see what makes you different. What makes you different? If you want to launch a new tamarind sauce, how are you going to make it different on the market? If you want to launch a new snack product, is there any snack that's similar to what you want to produce? And look at the numbers, run the numbers, and let people hire people who are always better at you or than you in the room. So I know The Rock is somebody that I follow, and he always said that he can't be the smartest person in the room. So when we're making decisions based on numbers and facts, you need to consult the actual, the key person in that industry, the expert in that industry, so that you can make your decisions based on fact and let you be guided by them. So sometimes you may have to reach out to a consultant like myself. I know a lot of people and who are actually very good at what they do. So when it is I'm in doubt, I reach out to them. Don't delay your decisions. That procrastination monkey I was talking about before, sometimes we allow when we are thinking, nah, that's not going to work, and something isn't working in your business, we delay making decisions. We delay launch, failure to launch. We have that as well. And we also delay making key decisions like removing someone from our team. Those are tough decisions to make, but sometimes they need to be made in order to make your business as profitable as possible. I want you to be determined. Be determined. You have to want this. I tell all my clients and my mentees this. I can't want you to succeed more than you want yourself to succeed. And I want everyone around me to succeed. I really do. I'm that rare person. I really want everyone around me to succeed, but I can't want it more than you. Because if I find myself when I'm working with a client that I find myself doing the work and they're not doing it, then how are you facing your fear? You're using me as a crutch. So no, I encourage people to face their fears, and you need to be determined no matter what the circumstance. Keep your goal in mind. Keep the goals in mind. So, for example, today my goal was to go to the beach and just relax. So in order to do that, I put things in place and I didn't book any meetings for today. And I have my goals in mind. You must focus on what your goals are, what your short term goals are, what your 3 month goals, 6 month goals, 1 year goals. I suggest you write them down, both personal and professional. What are your goals at the end of the day? So if you can paddle through your fear and get upstream, success is around the corner. So itemize, please determine what your fears are, write them down in order, and see how you're going to tackle them and how they're affecting your progress in your business. And sometimes it may be just that you are standing in your own way. So don't do it. Want your success, and no fear should come in the way of that. And there are coaches that will help you with your fears. Reach out and I can help guide you. So I want to leave you with this. Until my next episode, I hope I left you with something to think about. I hope I added value to your day. And I would like, if you have a specific topic you want to talk to me about, please reach out to me on canconnectyou.com. Until my next episode, I would love if you drop me a line. Now remember what the words are for this episode: grit, passion, and perseverance for your long-term goals. Don't let your fears be the procrastination monkey on your shoulder. I want you to have a growth mindset, that we think about the things that we fear and we get over it. We set out a plan, we strategize how we're going to overcome our fears. As opposed to a fixed mindset where you just say, nah, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. Nobody wants this. As I said before, everybody can't do what you're doing. That's why they're not doing it. So just the way that you're doing it, continue to do it that way. So until next time, it's been a pleasure, and I will enjoy the rest of my birthday.